To test Substack Live, what I'm doing is I'm going to read a poem. And this poem is by Maya Angelou, When Great Trees Fall. And the reason I've chosen this poem is because this weekend I'm planning to do a Trouble at Taboo Junction author interview with Dale Mahfood, author of When Trees Fall. And in researching in preparation for the podcast, I came across Maya Angelou's poem. Now, many of you may be familiar with it. I may have heard of it, but I didn't really know it. So I found it, I like it, and I want to read it. And that's what our Substack Live is going to be about today. And there's probably nobody watching this live. I didn't notify anyone. It's just going to be a really short video. And more likely, if you're listening to this, you are listening to it after, when the live is all done. Okay, so let me stop being so verbose, or how do you pronounce that? Verbose, and read this beautiful poem for you. When Great Trees Fall by Maya Angelou. And before I read it, I just want to say a few things. Maya Angelou wrote this poem after Martin Luther King died. He happened to die on her birthday. And for many years after that, she didn't celebrate her own birthday. Now, Dale Mahfood's book opens with a passing. Now, this may be coincidence, or actually perhaps this poem inspired the title for his book. But he's going to tell us, I'm sure, when we have that podcast conversation that I'm looking forward to so much. That should be this weekend, this Sunday, and hopefully we'll be doing it on Substack Live as well. So Dale Mahfood's book opens with a scene after the death of a man named Malcolm Campbell. And Malcolm Campbell is a figure who, in a way, represents the author's own grandfather, because this book is a work of fiction, but it's also a work of autofiction. It's based on and inspired on real events, and the extent to which it's based on and inspired by real events, I'm sure, is something that Dale will explain to us when we have that conversation. So the opening of When Trees Fall is just after Malcolm Campbell has died, and then we go back into, and then the story takes us into an exploration of his life from the point of view of three people who were close to him in different ways and who have survived him. So I don't want to get too much into the story right now, but that's just to show you that, just to give you a little connection there between the poem I'm going to read and the book that we're going to be discussing with Dale Mahfood. And in no way, Dale's book is called When Trees Fall, and Maya Angelou's poem is called When Great Trees Fall. And in no way, I think, is Martin Luther King anything like the character Malcolm Campbell, who has died. But nonetheless, I think this is a fantastic poem which will touch you, and therefore I'm really excited to be reading it. Anyway, I feel like this is ridiculously long preamble for a poem that is probably just going to take 2 minutes to read. So let me begin. When Great Trees Fall. This poem deserves better than that. When Great Trees Fall by Maya Angelou. When great trees fall, rocks on distant hills shudder. Lions hunker down in tall grasses, and even elephants lumber after safety. When great trees fall in forests, small things recoil into silence, their senses eroded beyond fare. When great souls die, the air around us becomes light, rare, sterile. We breathe briefly. Our eyes, briefly, see with a hurtful clarity. Our memory, suddenly sharpened, examines, gnaws on kind words unsaid, promised walks never taken. Great souls die, and our reality, bound to them, takes leave of us. Our souls, dependent upon their nurture, now shrink wizened. Our minds, formed and informed by their radiance, fall away. We are not so much maddened as reduced to the unutterable ignorance of dark, cold caves. And when great souls die, after a period, peace blooms, slowly and always irregularly. Spaces fill with a kind of soothing electrical vibration, our senses restored, never to be the same, whisper to us. They existed. They existed. We can be and be better, for they existed. Thank you. So I see I've actually got someone listening to me, Walter. Hello, Walter. And this poem is not my poem by any means, if you're not familiar with it. It is a poem by Maya Angelou, the late great Maya Angelou. So that ends my Substack live. Thank you very much. Sorry about the lighting. The lighting is really poor. It is a very grey day out there. I didn't switch on the light, and I've got no professional lighting, but I hope that anybody listening to this poem will appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you guys when Dale and I do our podcast conversation on. Thank you.